Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of the Some Assemblage Required scrapbooking advent calendar, which means it is an advent calendar at Christmas time, but the items inside are scrapbooking related, not Christmas related. Some of them you could use for Christmas, but you wouldn't have to. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. This is one of the bigger packages. Feels like there's at least two things in here, a couple of things. It's pretty thick. So let's see what kinds of goodies we have today. When I open this, I am going to figure out what kind of photos I can use and go ahead and make a layout. Ooh, okay. We have gears and clock hands. That's cool. All right. Gears and clock hands. So clock, time, something like that. You could use it without the clock hands and just have the gears. And this says old time scenery, modeled old ruler, original retro strip stickers. Okay, let's see what those are. Oh, they're almost like washi, but not. They've got a texture to them. Oh, not all of them. That one doesn't have a texture. They've got a texture to them. They feel like they're backed, so with like adhesive, and maybe they're washi. So let's see if I can pull that apart. This might take me a moment here, but we'll see. Or maybe they just go on the way they are. Nope, that looks like they peel. Yep, they're like washi. So semi-transparent, and then the back peels off. Those are cool. All right. Some of them have a texture kind of like fabric. I don't know if the camera can catch that. And some of them are just flat, like washi. So I don't know if you can see the difference there. The one on the right is just plain. The one on the left has a kind of a linen texture to it. Those are cool. Okay, I am going to step away and see if I can pull some photos to go with this and some papers and embellishments and create a layout. I'll be back. Okay, so I decided I'm going to use like almost all of these little ruler yard sticky type deals. And they are self-adhesive, which is really cool. So you don't even have to do anything except peel the backs off. And I am going to use them with some stuff from the 49 and Market Vintage Orchard collection. I think that's what it's called. I have a paper over there to the right that you can see, which kind of has a similar feel that I want to use. I am actually going to cut those flowers. I'm going to fussy cut the flowers out of the bottom of it and put them on this page. But in order to use the ruler things and stuff, I am going to do a little bit of mixed media to make it so that it blends better with the florals that are on that other page. Could I have just used the other paper? Sure, I could have. But I like these, and these little stickers, and I thought they were really cool. And I decided I wanted to go ahead and use them. I thought I might use this little wood veneer piece that says grow up at the top of the screen there, but I don't end up using that one. I'm going to use the one that says family and the one that says love, and those have been in my stash for quite a long time. They are not from MK. I don't actually know where they are from. That's not true. I think the packaged one is maybe from Studio Calico, but the one that says grow, I don't know where that one is from. But I thought those would work really well, and I'm going to pair them up with the gears that were in today's Advent package, and then I'm using, like I said, almost all of these rulers. I think I have maybe 4 left over that I don't end up using. So I just kind of started at the bottom of the page. I did trim my page down by about 1/4 of an inch because I know I'm going to back it with something else to have a little bit of a framework. And So I trimmed it before I started, and then all of the pieces that are hanging over the edge there, I am going to tuck them underneath the paper. So they're not going I'm not going to trim them, I'm just going to tuck them. Because they're self-adhesive, it works really well and it makes it really easy to do. And then one of the rulers, the top one, hangs off but the paper just a little bit. So I will just trim that with my scissors so it won't be a complete ruler, but that's okay. Some of them are really narrow and some of them are wide, so I don't think that hinders the look at all by trimming it down. And then I have two photos of my niece's kiddos, and this is actually going to be a giftie for my brother and his wife, so my brother and my sister-in-law, and I think they will really like it because these are their grandkids, and they have a lot of the kind of the dark woods in their house, and they have like a really dark leather couch and those really warm tones. And so I thought that this old kind of vintage look of the rulers would go really well with that, and it would play nicely with the decor that they already have. So that's what I'm doing. I'm also using some scattered straw distress ink, inking up the edges to bring in some of that mustardy yellow that you see on that paper over to the right hand side. I didn't get it quite as dark, but that's okay. I'm going to use some of this cream gold glossy acrylic paint. And as you see, I'm just rolling it on with a brayer. I'm going to end up pulling out a different brayer because this one seems to not be perfectly flat. It's like missing, when I roll, it's missing certain spots. Yeah, and I don't know if it was just I didn't roll it in the paint or what, but it just doesn't seem to work as nicely as my other one. So one is from Speedball. The other one is from, let's see here, the red handle is from Speedball, which is my favorite one. And the other one is a Fiskars. And I don't know if the Fiskars one, it seems to like have a gap where it actually rolls, but it works great for a lot of other things. Like I use it to roll on my my papers onto my silhouette mats to make sure they have pressure on them. So it works fine for that. I also did use some acrylic ink and in gold, and I just rubbed that over. It's a little bit of a sheer look to it. So it just gives a little bit of shine, but it doesn't add a ton. I mean, it adds some color, but it doesn't add a lot. It's not really like in your face gold. And then this is a beige color. I don't have the bottle in front of me, but I think it's called Beachcomber Beige or something like that. It's really old. And I just went over that to kind of mellow things out, bringing it back to a lighter color. And later in the process, you will see me go dry brush some white back over some of these areas as well. If you look at the paper off to the right hand side, there is what looks like kind of a leather tooling pattern on it. And I kind of want to duplicate that to some extent. So I pulled out this stamp from Stampin' Up. It's called Textured Essentials. It's old. It's been in my stash for a while. But that bottom left-hand one on the box you see in the bottom right-hand corner there is the one that I am using, bringing in more of that pattern. And I did start stamping it right on the edge so I could see what the pattern looks like. I stamped it with aged mahogany. I didn't like that. And I know these flowers are going to cover up some of the areas where I stamped, so that's kind of like my test area. And then I went back in with some Ranger Archival ink in black. It's jet black. And stamped. And I will be doing a little bit more stamping because, as you see, there's not a lot of it peeking out because the florals cover a lot of that up. But I don't want too much peeking out. I just want some peeking out. So I'm just kind of like auditioning where this floral's going to go and then trying it out and seeing if I get enough of it peeking out to where I am happy. I also know my photo's going to cover a portion of that. So it's just a little bit peeking out here and there. I did think about putting my gears up in the upper right hand corner, but because I had stamped so much in the bottom right hand corner, I decided to bring my florals down there. And plus I didn't want my florals to be directly across from the other florals. I wanted them to be opposing corners. And I already had my stamping figured out. So yeah, that's what I'm going with here. And then I do want something in that upper right hand corner. I just didn't know what. So I'm just letting that piece of faux lace and that journaling spot and leaves just kind of live there while I work on other things, and I kind of marinate on them and figure out what I want to have in that corner, because I'm not 100% sure, but I do know I want something. I did find these two layering pieces that I am cutting out. They were on the back of the packaging for one of the laser cut elements. I'm not sure which laser cut elements these are from. Um, I'm not. I think maybe from the florals, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And so I found this package had two of them, which was perfect because I have two photos. So that's what I'm going to use to back my photos. I really like the way they look. It makes it look like there's more than one piece of paper down there, even though there's just the one. And I'm liking how that goes with their outfits. Their outfits are very fall colored, not covered. And I think it ties in really nicely. And the funny thing is, I wish you could see their faces. I do cover them for privacy purposes, but in one of the pictures, the right-hand picture, the middle child is kissing the little guy's head, and in the other photo, they are making funny faces. So I think it's really cute. There's a funny photo and a heartwarming, endearing photo. So you may have just seen me cut off some of the leaves that are going to be covered up by my photos, and those leaves I'm going to take them and put them underneath the element in the upper right hand corner, so I don't have to waste leaves out of my other packaging. I am doing a little bit of dry brushing, like I mentioned, just dry brushing the white on. I did get kind of a bit of a big swatch there on the kind of the right hand side in the middle. You don't get to see it, but I do take a little bit of the gold color, and I just kind of barely dip my finger in it, and I rub a little bit across that, so in the close-ups it's not quite as bright white. And I don't know why I don't have that on film, but apparently I didn't film that. So my apologies for that. And then if you're wondering how I frame these, this one is not super bulky, so it probably could go in a regular frame, unlike the one I did yesterday, which has more of the snowflakes are more dimensional. But I am not going to use a flat frame. I'm going to use the same frame that I used for my dimensional ones, and they're about an inch thick maybe. They're from Michaels. They come in a 2-pack. You can get them in white, black, and a grayish color. And that's what I like to frame them in. They are a shadow box, but not a really deep shadow box. So in fact, the little border that it's going to be around this entire layout is not going to show in the shadow box, because it has about 1/4 of an inch piece around the inside of the framework that holds your photo or your layout or whatever you're putting inside towards the back portion of the frame, the part that sits against the wall, so that there's a gap between the glass and the front portion. So you're not going to really see that. I did consider doing some stitching around this as well, and I thought it's not going to show, so I'm not going to even worry about it. And I don't know that it will ever be out of the frame. So for me, I switch mine out at home periodically, but I don't expect that other people do that, because it's not like they're making new layouts every day or anything or getting new layouts every day, but you never know. So that is what this is going in, and I think it's going to look really nice. I am still opening Advent stuff. I will have another layout for you guys on Sunday, which is going to be a wood grain and winter layout. So we'll be featuring some wood grain as well. Most of my layouts have wood grain on them if you consider the wood veneer a wood grain, although I am not counting that, because I think that would be kind of gypping you guys. You wouldn't be it wouldn't be really fair, right? So I'm trying to use wood grain paper on all of my wood grain and winter layouts, which those are on Fridays, Sundays, and Wednesdays. So have a couple more for you before we are done. And that's pretty much all that's going on tomorrow is wood grain and winter, and the Some Assemblage Required Advent. Today it's just Advent, so you get to do whatever I wanted to do, which I love that, because Yeah, sometimes it's nice just to play, right? So I am loving how these little rulers have come out. They are like the perfect color and the perfect match for this collection. If you have this collection in your stash and you have the advent calendar, I say pair them up because it's awesome. They go so well together. And I'm not sure if you would know it or not, but I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn, but this could probably pass for like a 49 in market. Uh, not everything is from 49 market, but you would probably think it would if you didn't know any better, just because it pairs so well together with the rulers. Yeah. So I think that looks really cool. I am going to ink all the way around my layout with a little bit more walnut stain. I did ink up these pieces and the floral pieces with a little bit of walnut stain. I have a little tiny paper clip that I'm sticking up here in this little journaling section. And you know, I did not even write on this layout. I totally was, I guess, in a hurry because I had to ship it to get to my brother in time, or my brother, my sister-in-law, in time for Christmas. So it's on its way to them, and I didn't even write on it, but I guess the next time in Idaho, it's coming off the wall, and I will do a little bit of writing on it, just so it has their ages. I do think I stamped it with a date though, so that might be plenty because you can kind of go back and figure out what age they are and what year. It might not be totally obvious to you know, everyone, but it will be for family members. And then I did a little bit more of that acrylic ink, but I just did a little splatter with a fan brush. The fan brush keeps it really small, like the splatter is tiny, whereas if you do it with the nozzle, you're going to get some big drips as well. That is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and that your holiday season is going very well. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll be back again tomorrow, like I mentioned, and don't forget to go check out what MK has on her channel using today's Some Assemblage Required items as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.